Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Batra, page Ayin Dalid, Amid Aleph. Actually, we're in the middle of a series of very interesting and, might we say, out there stories that concern Rabbah and Rabbah Bar Barchana. And it first started with Rabbah, but then went to Rabbah Bar Barchana. So I'll start from the bottom of 73b with a particular story. It's a few lines from the bottom. And Rabbah Bar Barchana said, "Once we were standing in the desert, and we were accompanied by a certain Arab who would take dust and smell it and say, 'This is the road to such and such a place.' And that is the road to such and such a place. Amar Rabbah Bar Barchana zimnachada havikazlinam bamidbara ve'is lave mahad nahu taya shakla afra morach lev amar ha orcha leduchta plan v'ha orcha leduchta plan." Basically, that was just the Aramaic or the Talmud language for what I just read before, that he would smell the dust, the dirt, and see, where, to navigate through smelling dust. Amar Lan Havu Li Afri Havin Le Amar Le Tamni Parsi Tani and Vihavni Le Amri Demer Chakina and Tilasa Parsi Ephus Le Velo Yaches Le. Okay. We said to him, "How far are we from water?" He said to us, "Bring me dust." We brought it to him, and he said, 8 parasangs. Later, we said this a second time and gave him dust. He said that we are a distance of 3 parasangs. I switched the type of dust to test him, but I could not confuse him, as he was an expert in the matter. Amar li tacha achave lach midbar. Azlicha zi sinu vidamu kaman de mi basmi. The Arab said to me, "Come, I will show you the dead of the wilderness." In other words, the Jewish people who left Egypt and died in the wilderness. And I went and saw them, and they had the appearance of one who was intoxicated. And now we are on the top of 74a. With the words Viganu Aparkid. And they were just lying on their backs. These dead people in the wilderness. The Dor HaMidbar. Ve'hav Zakifa Birkei Dechad Minayu. And the knee of one of them was elevated. And he was so enormous that the Arab entered under his knee while riding a camel, and with his spear upright, and did not touch him. The knee of one of them was elevated. And apparently this dead person from that time was so huge that the Arab entered under his knee while riding a camel, and with his spear upright, and did not touch his knee. That's really hard to believe. That's actually, not literal. V'hazikifa birkei dechaminai v'ayal taya tute birkei kirechiv gamla zikifa urumche Velo lagabe paskicha dakarna etechelta dechaminayu velo havi baskilan mistagilan. Amra li din meshakle mideminayu adraig de gemiriman de shakil midimanayu velo mistagi le az li adarte vehadar mistagilan. Basically, what that means is, I cut one corner of the sky blue garment that contains ritual fringes of one of them, and we were unable to walk. So basically, these Jews who died in the wilderness in the time of Moshe Rabbeinu, not only were they huge, but they were tzitzis. And I guess when Rabbah cut a corner of his tzitzis, I'm not sure why he did that, but anyway, they're dead, so I don't know what's... And then it made him unable to walk. The Arab said to me, perhaps you took something from them, return it. As we know by tradition, the one who takes something from them cannot walk. I then returned the corner of the garment, and then we were able to walk. But if you couldn't walk to return it, how did he do that? Maybe he threw it. I don't know. Anyway, it's all very bizarre. Okay, but anyway... Kiyas to come in the Rabbanon Namrali, Kol Abba Chamra, the Kol Bar Bar Chana, Sich Sa, the Mayhilchas Avadet Hachi, the Medeki Beis Shamay Okibis Hillel, Ibayalach, the Mine Chutin, the Mine Chuliot. When I came before the sages, they said to me in rebuke, every Abba is a donkey, and every Bar Bar Chana is an idiot. For the purpose of clarifying what halacha did you do that? If you wanted to know whether halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Beis Shammai or according to the Hillel, as to whether there are 4 or 3 threads and joints in ritual fringes, 4 or 3 threads and joints in ritual fringes, in that case there was no need to take anything with you. You should have just simply counted the threads and counted the joints. Interesting. Rabbi Bar Bar Chana continues his account. Why didn't he tell him what it was? Is it like Beis Hillel or Shammai? Leaves us hanging. If you would have told us who it was, then you would say, oh, probably these guys are more right than others. Maybe he wanted proof. He wanted proof. That could be. I want to show you that I got a relic. Ein doim mishmiya k're'iyah, you know what I'm saying? I have the tzitzis of a dude who died in the Midbar, and I'll tell you, it was from the Moshe Rabbeinu's time. So they couldn't, there was no machlokas then. So, here, Beis Shammai is right. Or here, Beis Hillel is right. I can show you these tzitzis. Maybe that's what Rabbah wanted to do. But still, we who read this don't know which one it was. Amar li ta'achazi la hashina yazli chazid dahadar li'akraba. V'kamik hamir chavod shma maskol shamris oili shnishbati v'achshav shnishbati mi mefirli. Rabbi Bar Bar Chana continues his account. That Arab also said to me, come, I will show you Mount Sinai. I went and saw that scorpions were encircling it, and they were standing as high as white donkeys. I heard a divine voice saying, woe is me, that I took an oath, and now that I took the oath, who will nullify it for me? Ki asai l'kami d'Rabbanan, Amri li kol Abba Chamra, kol Bar Chana Sichsa. Didn't you just say that? Yeah, you did. Haya lecha lomar mufarlach, vehu savar dilma shvuasa dimabelhu v'rabbanan imkain oili lama. When I came before the sages, they said to me in rebuke, every Abba is a donkey, and every Bar Bar Chana is an idiot. You should have said, your oath is nullified. The Gemara explains that Rabbi Bar Bar Chana did not nullify the oath because he reasoned perhaps God is referring to the oath that he will not flood the earth again, but the sages would argue that if it were so, why say woe is me? Rather, this must be referring to God's oath of exile upon the Jewish people. Amar li tach ve lebeloi de korach chazet rebi zai v'hao kava v'avikurta kutra shakal gava v'yamra yamin shen b'maya v'natzit v'reishn d'ruchamam v'ya'ini hasam v'chiyapeka v'yicharach yicharoche Amar li etzet ma'eshima kushimata v'yamrin Moshe v'soichosoi emes v'hein badoin Amar li kon telasin yomi mihadulu gehenom lehacha kivasot bakalachas Amar li chanchi Moshe v'soroso emes v'hein badoin Rabbi Bar continues his account. The Arab also said to me, come, I will show you those who were swallowed by the earth due to the sin of Korach. I saw 2 rifts in the ground that were issuing smoke. The Arab took a shearing of wool and dipped it in water and inserted it on the head of a spear and placed it in there, and when he removed the wool, it was scorched. He said to me, listen to what you hear. And I heard what they were saying. Moses and his Torah are true, and they, meaning we are in the earth, are liars. Listen to what you hear. I heard that they were saying Moses and his Torah are true, and they, meaning and we, in the earth, are liars. The Arab further said to me, every 30 days Gehenna returns them here, like meat in a pot that has moved around by the boiling water as it cooks. And every time they say this, Moses and his Torah are true, and they, in other words, we in the earth, are liars. Amar li tachvele chadinashkiara Urikia hadad shakalta lesiltai asnachta v'chavasa dirikia adim tzalena be'ete v'lo eshkachte emen ale ikagan v'hacha Amar li hai gilgala dirikia havid yahadr natar ad nimchar hacha the Arab also said to me, come, I will show you the place where the earth and the heavens touch each other. I took my basket and placed it in the window of the heavens. After I finished praying, I searched for it, but I did not find it. I said to him, are there thieves here? He said to me, this is the heavenly sphere that is turning around. Wait here until tomorrow, and you will find it. Rabbi Yochanan Mishdai Zib Nachada Havikazlinam Besifinta Vichazena Nahu Kavora Diabekel Shemiyama. Rabbi Yochanan relates, once we were traveling on a ship and we saw a certain fish that took its head out of the sea, and its eyes had the appearance of 2 moons. And water scattered from its 2 gills like the 2 rivers of Surah. Rav Safra Mishtai Zim Nachada Havikaz Dinan Besifinta Tichazina no Kavore Diabakil Reshem Amma והבלה קרנה וחקיק עלה, ענה בריאה קרה שבים. והבינן תלת מעט פרסי, והזלינן לפומה דלוויתן. אמר רש"י, אהו איזה דיאמה הוא, דבחישה יתלה קרנה. Rav Sofer relates, once we were traveling on a ship, and we saw a certain fish that took its head out of the sea, and it had horns, and the following was inscribed on them: I am a lowly creature of the sea, and I am 300 parasangs long, and I am going into the mouth of the Leviathan. Rav Ashi said, that is the goat of the sea, which searches through the sea, and has horns. Rabbi Yochanan Mishta'eh Zimnachada Havikaz Liam Bisefinta Nechazina Kartlita Deavoka Mekabe Bam Ba Avanim Tovot Umargoliot Yahadrile Mine Dechavore De Mikre Karsha Nechet. Rabbi Yochanan relates, this might have to be started on the next Amud. Rabbi Yochanan relates, once we were traveling on a ship and we saw a certain crate in which precious stones and pearls were set, and a species of fish called sharks encircled it. He descended